Hey guys, this is Mr. H. I'm doing question number 5 from the August 2025 Regents exam algebra, right? And they've given us this graph. It says, which point lies on the graph y equals 3x squared minus 1/4 x plus 3. All right, now, the last two questions we did were functions. This is also a function. It doesn't have f of x, but you should know whenever you have y by itself, it's the same thing as f of x. So the same thing that we used on the last two problems, we're going to use for this one. But I'm going to show you a feature that I want you guys to use. All right, we can use menu 51, but we're definitely going to graph this. So this is another function. So we're going to go to the calculator page, which is here. All right, and then we're just going to enter this. 3x squared, it's quadratic, minus 1/4 x, and then plus 3. Now, we don't really care what the graph looks like, right? We want to see which one of these points are on there. So I'm going to pull the graph down a little bit. Now, we could use menu 51, but what I'm going to do, because I want you guys to understand this, I'm going to use the table, Control T for the table. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the table a standalone. So if you do Control 6, you see it created this new tab. So basically this is just the table by itself. Now, here's the feature that I want you guys to see. All we're going to do is I am going to do menu, and it gives you this option for the table. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to edit the table settings. Now, here's what I want. Usually it gives you the x values, but now instead of giving me all of the x values, all I have to do now is type in the x values that I want to see. So in this case, the x values are -2 and -1, 1, and 2. So if I type those numbers in, so if I do a -2, it's going to give me the output. If I do a -1, it's going to give me the output. If I do 1, it's going to give me the output. If I do 2, it's going to give me the output. So now all I'm doing is basically just checking this. Right? I'm looking for the one that's in here, a -2, 15.5. It's the first one. The second one doesn't work. This says 5.75. This says 6.25. So that's not it. We do 1, we got 5.75. This says 6.25. And then 2 says 14.5, right? And this says 15.5. So it's the first one. So we select that one and we're done. Now, you can, I just want to show you, you can do menu 51 and you can start typing in these numbers. Like you can type in 1 and it tells you 5.8. Is that what, actually, okay, let me do something really quick. It looks like the settings for this are set to fix 1. You don't want them to be fixed 1. I was trying to figure out why the numbers were different. Now, that's what we got when we looked at the table. When you put 1 in, you got 5.75, not 5.8. So make sure, whenever you change the settings to round, make sure you change it back to float because you could get some erroneous answers. But anyway, you could do menu 51 and just type in all the numbers. I think it's easier to just go to the table and just type in the values that you need to check. All right, that's an easier way to do it. Now, let me show you how to do that. Once you're in the table mode, you just do menu and you're going to have two options. Actions, first one gets, you can resize the columns. The second one, it gives you a bunch of choices. I want the table settings. And basically, you're just going to change the independent, which is the X value. You're going to change that to ask. It's usually auto, right? But if you do auto, it gives you all of these. You just want to check the 4 numbers that you need to check, okay? So that's a good feature. I learned about that recently, so I'm showing you guys and I'm telling you it's a useful feature. So I'm going to stop now and I'm going to post this. The key idea though is if you have a function, graph it.